We're across the Hudson from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. This is the scene just before we came on air. This New York crowd fired up by the arrival of their G-men as they burst from the locker room. They're ready to go as the Giants get set to match up with Ben Roethlisberger and the Pittsburgh Steelers. On to get us started now, the kicker Chris Boswell. And off we go to wrap up the week on a Monday night. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
The Giants take over 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play. It's 2nd down.
He's brought down.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation.
No gain on the play. Brings up 3rd down and 9.
From the gun, Jones. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. Stephon Tuitt able to shake free and get home for the sack.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. A 40-yard punt, give him 3 on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10.
Their own 39-yard line.
Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. They try and run on 1st down, but to no avail. Tackle for a 2-yard loss in the backfield.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Now Roethlisberger. Open man, completes it to Smith-Schuster. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. And he'll find Washington. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Boy, a nice play there as they wind up converting on 3rd and 15. On 1st and 10 is Connor. Blake Martinez, 2nd in the league in tackles last year, gets another there.
The tackle made at the
that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. That one a gain of 20 and a 1st down. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
It's a gain of 10.
So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, They want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
At the Giants' 14-yard line.
On 2nd and 7, Roethlisberger. He finds his tight end, Gentry. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
3rd down.
The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. Trying to get the first with Samuels. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. A 10-yard touchdown run. And the Steelers have taken a first-quarter lead. Well, you've got to like that start on both sides of the football. You force the 3 and out, and then you score on your first drive.
Well, I know someone who doesn't like that start.
Well, yeah, the other side.
Yeah, they don't like that at all, right? This is not the way it's supposed to be. But what you just described, that's team football. All right, when you get a 3 and out, you're supposed to take advantage of it on the offensive side of the ball. You said, thank you very much for getting us the rock. Let's put it in the end zone, and they did exactly that.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Giants take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Jones. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Here's Jones to throw on 3rd down. And the pass is intercepted. He was looking for Ingram. Picked off by the all-pro safety, Minka Fitzpatrick. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line.
They'll take over.
The good old cover 3 defense, partner. When you start playing football as a safety, that's the first thing you're taught. Middle of the field, be as deep as the deepest receiver in any zone, and break on the football when it's thrown, and pick it off, just as we saw there.
And it's complete. He gets this one to Washington. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
Washington.
We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, when they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down. Right back to Connor here on 1st. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19.
Taken down.
Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
On 2nd down now, it's Connor. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there. On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. But it's brought
Washington. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. The Steelers were last in the NFL in red zone touchdown percentage a season ago, down around 35%. It's 1st and goal. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Jalen Samuels, already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. And it's good to make it 14-0.
Makes the score Steelers 14, Giants nothing. Chris Boswell to kick off for Pittsburgh.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This taken in about 4 yards deep. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
The Giants take over 1st and 10. At their own 19-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan, or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
After the penalty, they go with Barkley. And he'll take this one up to about the 13.
Barkley, the ball carrier.
Sean Davis that time on the tackle.
13-yard line.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Now on 2nd and 16. Jones, they'll set up the screen to Barkley. A gain of 4 last play. They double that here and get 8.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
So now a 3rd and 7, and defensively, it's a dime look. 6 DBs. From the gun, Jones. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Mike Hilton, and he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line.
Well, there definitely was some juice on that pass. And while tight ends don't always have the same reputation for hands as wide receivers do, in this case, that ball was expected to be caught.
On 1st down, counter plowing ahead for about 3. It'll be 2nd and 7.
The tackle made by Dixon.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9.
Complete to Juju.
Was that a design pass, or what was that?
It was built into the play call. He had the opportunity to either hand it inside, keep it himself to run it, or do what he just did. Throw that pass inside, hitting a receiver on the run.
The Steelers were last in the NFL in red zone touchdown percentage a season ago, down around 35%. It's 1st and goal. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Jalen Samuels on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead. So simple math here in the first half. They've had 3 drives offensively, and they have scored every time, and they've got the lead.
Well, whenever we talk about adjustments, we usually talk about an offense making adjustments, right? This is all about the defense. They've got to figure out some way, somehow to slow them down. Do they blitz a little bit more? Do they play more zone coverage? Right now, they don't know where to go because they're hitting them in every direction.
And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
He's going to air one out. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
That was not a real confident throw right there, and he's just 2 of 7 to start the game. Now he's going to have to find a groove with a big third down coming up. Let's see if his confidence can increase.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Looking for Shepard deep. Room here to run. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. So that is 3 interceptions now in this first half, and you hate to ask the question, but let's be honest, we're thinking about it. Do you need to go in a different direction next series?
Potentially. We know that he's probably not going to be on the Pro Bowl ballot. That's not really his stature here. But he has been their starting quarterback for this game. So they've got to weigh things about who's behind him. Do they think he can snap it back into gear? Maybe change up the play calling to help him out a little bit.
This a 2nd and 7 from the 37. Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll hand things off to the coach, Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have a look back at a very intriguing opening weekend in the NFL. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it 3rd down at 6.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
And he will have the first down, but he winds up paying for it pretty good.
9 yards.
That's good for 9 yards as they convert on the 3rd down play. On 1st down, Connor. Big Leonard Williams there on the stop.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that was a tough run because he only picked up 3 yards. But let's flip it over to the defensive side. They now have the advantage. 3 3-yard gains, that means they're punting the ball likely on 4th down. That's what you're looking for when you're playing defense.
That's the end.
So we reach halftime here at our first Monday Nighter of the season. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, we'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. Fielded near the back of the end zone, and he will not bring it out. It's a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
2 yards.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
He's going to launch it for Washington. And got his man complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. Last play, they didn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. Now they gain almost 40 yards here. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line.
He's brought
the tackle made by Blake Martinez.
4 yards on the pick.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse.
And a loose football, and the Giants have it. It's picked up, and his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. There are two words that we hear coaches say all of the time. One starts with a B, one starts with an S, ball security.
And they preach it. They have it up in meeting rooms, right? You see the signs. They talk about it all the time. But still, when you got defenders out there who are preaching, hey, we're going to take the ball away from you, no matter what position you play, you've got to take care of the rock.
So they recover their own fumble. Now they face 3rd and short. And he's going to have just a couple here with a marker on the field as well. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
So on 4th down, the Steelers call on the number of Chris Boswell for the field goal try. Right hash mark, a 42-yard attempt. And Boswell's kick is good. And the route is on. It's 24-0. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
The Giants take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. Again, it's Barkley. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Incomplete.
Well, coming into this one, we expected that this offense would have trouble with this defense, and that's exactly the way that this game has gone. Pressure in his face, coverage downfield has been tight. That led to another incompletion. This defense, they're exactly who we thought they were coming into this one.
Eight yards on the return following a punt of 41. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs.
7-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
The opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Ben leads to counter on the draw. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
And that will be incomplete.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially, and it'll be Giant football 1st and 10.
26-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
They'll go to Barkley again. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long.
It's 3rd down and 12.
Jones fakes the give to Barkley. And Ingram holds it in. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Ingram, 75 yards. And the Giants are able to cut into this lead. There you go, Charles. His first touchdown pass of the new season.
And he had a strong rookie year. So much more expected of him this one, as you might imagine. He threw that one with confidence and assuredness.
And I noticed that the celebration a little bit more subdued than his first touchdown pass last year as a rookie.
Yeah, he certainly is acting like he's done it before.
Extra point try good by Gano. And that'll make it 24-7. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. That's fielded on the back line of the end zone. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
25-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right near the brink, aren't they?
They'll get a couple yards back, but not more than that. They'll be left with 12 yards to go on 3rd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down.
4th down.
Colquitt on to kick as he sends it away. Well, a solid punt, but also a nice return there of 14 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over.
At their own 49-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And no doubt this is not the way that they had hoped to open their season. Thoroughly outplayed here in front of the national audience. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a 1st down. Jones now on 1st down. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. It's picked by the linebacker, T.J. Watt. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
1st and 10.
Another solid game-changing play for this defense with the interception. At this point, though, I don't know that it's game-changing. I mean, they've got this one in firm control.
And you always hear about You know, those stories about someone left their game plan behind and maybe you benefit from it. I'm not going to say that that happened, but they certainly have appeared on defense to be a step ahead this entire game. Guys are always in the right spot in order to make a play.
The offense has had its moments, too. Here's Conner. He's got the first down and more past midfield. And finally brought down at the 43. That good for 19 and a first down.
As many games as the two of us do, I would hope that one day we'll be able to solve this riddle. Why is it on a hot day that one team has more trouble with the heat than another, and especially when you can't stop a guy running the ball?
You know it's September in the booth, though, when you and I have both removed our coats, and those were gone in the first quarter.
They were gone in the first quarter, and what we're watching now is a defense mentally giving in and sagging a little bit because they haven't been able to stop him.
A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last two plays.
And the Steeler first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now Ben going to give this one to Conner. And he'll get about 3 as he's brought down to the 28.
James Conner, the Steeler.
That's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. On the handoff, it's Snell. And he's going to get this pretty close to the first down marker at the Giants' 20-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
It's always been funny to me, Brandon, when coaches always talk about on hot days like the one we have here, oh, it's hot for both teams. But when one team has the advantage, when one team is running the ball really well and closing things out, it's hotter for the defensive side, and they sag a lot quicker.
Yeah, they say the dog days of August, the heat we're seeing here today, dog days of September, and the advantage right now on the offensive side. And they're going to take it all the way down and just take the delay. That's going to set them back 5 yards. So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game.
54 right there, 54 now. Here we go, G, get off the field.
They're going to run again with Snell. And a nice run to get him past the original line of scrimmage. A gain of 7. It's 2nd and 8 now.
Gain of 7.
Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down 4th quarter. Looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys are just saying, let's just keep running it at them. We've got them now.
The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Here's Snell on 3rd down. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. Now the Giants will use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. They'll run for it with Conner going absolutely nowhere. He'll wind up losing a yard or 2. Mike Tomlin takes a shot here, but to no avail. And the Giants are going to get the football back. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And whatever promise they showed in the preseason has not translated into week 1 because they have not been particularly competitive here at home, no less. These fans just kind of beside themselves right now. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. And it looks like this will be the last play before the 2-minute warning. They keep it with Barkley on first down. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4.
So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. The Giants going to burn their 3rd and final timeout. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. Off the play fake. Jones. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And they almost had another one. They are all over the football in this game. Nearly another pick. Now 4th down.
Minka Fitzpatrick on the coverage.
That's the reason we ball for. Circle round twice for the encore.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. They'll run with Barkley, going absolutely nowhere. He'll wind up losing a yard or 2. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Steelers, they're going to take over an excellent field position. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Game in hand, the offense takes the knee.
Burger on the keeper. A loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11 at the Giants' 34-yard line.
And the knee is taken for the Steelers out of the victory formation.
The keeper. A loss of a yard on the play. And it's 3rd down.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. They go down to a knee, and the new campaign off to a good start. It's a win here in Week 1. And just how they envision the start of the season, kneeling it down, defense can't stop the clock. This one's a winner.
You know, it's really strange. I think a lot of people think that the kneel-down practice stuff really only happens like 1 time a week. The best teams I know, they practice it starting back in OTAs. They want them to visualize winning a game and how great that feels, and they got it done in this one.
Yep, a knee gets them to 1-0.
Tonight's final.
So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And partner, I must say, good to see you again. Been too long. And it's good to have football back, isn't it?
Didn't you see me in preseason? Weren't we together in preseason?
Yeah, but preseason, you know, it's preseason. This is Week 1.
Oh, you're trying to say real football.
Yeah, real football.
Not preseason football where we shake down the rosters and figure out who's going to play, and maybe the starters don't play as much. Now it's the frontline guys from the first whistle.
Yeah, I tuned you out in the preseason. And now I'm listening to you. So for the Steelers, it'll be a happy trip home as they start the season with a road victory here on a Monday night. And they'll be back home next week to take on the Denver Broncos.